this morning's live, which I've started to do a live on Saturday and Sunday morning instead of an update, just because I feel like it gets more information across, and I feel like we can have an open and honest discussion about what's to come in the cryptocurrency market, not just over the weekend, like today's last day of a thinly traded weekend on a Sunday, but also what we can look forward to on Monday morning in the trading week ahead, but also some of the current events we have. Right now, we know today Brad Garlinghouse will be on 60 Minutes tonight. I think it's around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Could be a little off with the time, but that's what's developing and unfolding here today. XRP is down 2.3%, but that does not tell the story. XRP overnight around 5 a.m. while we were sleeping here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, West Coast, in the USA, we dropped down to about $2.48 last night. XLM dropped down to just over 46.5 cents. So we had a nice drop down. And if we're trying to warn a bullish scenario here, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but this is how you do it. The fact that we were able to come down overnight, back test $2.50, which is, I think, is important. We came all the way to 248, but that was on the breakout, we talked about the inverse left arm. It was something around this area because we measured it right here, that if it came back down, here, let me get the arrow out. If it came back down, that maybe we retest like this and create the inverse head for real. Because in the short term, I was looking at boom, boom, boom to break us out initially. But now we need to hold this area, break out, create this inversion on this side, which we did. And now if it holds, our technical target here is $3. It would be the first time we hit $3 since 2018. So I'm very anxious to see if that plays out today. I think it's going to be a fantastic day as we sit here and we give thanks not only to ourselves, our families, and each other. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this Sunday morning. Stay humble and keep humility in your actions. But always try to give thanks and always try to give help to the ones in need. Like this morning, I'm trying to give help to the ones who are trading cryptocurrency, not just particularly crypto, or not just particularly XRP. XRP is a big part of what I do, but I am XRP future millionaire with the side bet on XLM and future Digibite OG as we sit here on this Sunday, December 8th, 2024 at 9:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Figured I'd fit in that timestamp since I did that. So we have a lot of stuff to look at across the market. Bitcoin briefly this morning, as we can see, pushed back over 100,000 just in the brief, not so distant past here in the last hour or so. We got back over 100,000. You had Ethereum that's teetering with 4,000. It keeps slightly over, slightly below. Total crypto market cap is sitting just under 3.6 trillion. Not much movement there. The USDT market cap always is something to pay attention to, because this can give you a quick hint at what the market's going to do. That doesn't look so good. If you're looking for positive momentum, that doesn't look so good. That kind of looks like, now it's got to form a little inverse head if it's going to do anything. Oof. I don't know. That doesn't look so bad. But we got a lot of stuff to look at, like I said. We'll look at the charts. We'll see if there's any potential here to push up. Or are we in one of those buy the rumor, sell the news events where we've been buying the rumor of this Saturday or this Sunday night on 60 Minutes. And now that we get closer and closer, do we have a pump up or do we have a dump down? The fact we haven't fulfilled this technical target on that consolidation when we had the triple bottom around $2.22, which happened to be the 2021 high at $1.98. We broke above that. We never back tested that area, but the $2.22 is the target, the first target out of the descending wedge that started in 2018. Took until just about October of 2024 to break out. So almost 7 years. The first target out of that descending wedge, if you look at it from the 2021 area, which is the middle point, and that got you up to $2.22. So now we fulfilled the cup and handle that goes back to 2022. And as we know, in 2022, it started, but in 2023, we sloped down. And then we had a volatile swing up about a couple 100% on the announcement that XRP was not a security by Judge Annalisa Perez in July of 23. We created the cup. It took us another year plus to create the handle from July of last year. We came down and dumped about 40%, created the handle, and that took us to, we created a handle formation, took us a while, but our technical target out of the handle was $1.18. The technical target out of the cup was $2 or $1.38, $1.37. I proclaimed if we got on top of the cup, I would say we're in a new bull market, but not before. We could start saying we're heating up once we got the handle target, but it wasn't until we broke out of the cup, hit that technical move, and back tested it properly to where we'd be in a bull market. And once that happened, we knew we were in a bull market. We bought the bear market for the anticipation of an upcoming bull market. That's what you do. So we bought that. Then we had the technical target out of the descending wedge now after the $1.38 fell and held. That's our next big target. Well, $1.98, which was the 2021 high. We took that out with ease. Basically hit $2, dropped to $1.80, went right soaring past it. Then we hit the descending wedge first target of $2.22, which these are the big targets. You get on top of these big targets, then you have to fulfill the biggest target. So now we get on top of 222. We back test it for a triple bottom. Not only that, we come down to the uptrend around 215, 214, double bottom down there. 222 becomes a new neutral support, at least for now. We round out, we form a pattern formation, we bounce out of it. And I can show you this all in the charts, but I want to tell you from memory right now. So we bounce out of it, and then we push up to about $2.92. Well, on the drop back down to 215, we took out that uptrend, which is what we needed to do. We never back tested $1.98, which doesn't necessarily need to happen as long as we hold the $2.22 area, because that's the first target of the descending wedge. Fortunately, we triple bottomed in that area. Had a few wicks down to 215, 216 to support that uptrend that started on the pennant flag before, that was down below where we actually broke out and eventually took out $2 and such. We broke out much higher. So now the question is, now that we broke out of this pattern consolidation, the most recent consolidation formed from all of this volatility to the upside, now that we broke out of that consolidation, first target was $2.38. We took that out, had to get above 244, hit that initially, back tested 238, broke out of 244, broke up, back tested just above, and then broke up to just about $2.61 yesterday. Now overnight, we came back down to about $2.46 at about 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now we're trying to come back up and take out that. Now you'd have to take out the 262 high from yesterday, but our technical target, assuming we don't lose $2.44 and then ultimately $2.38, is $3. So we should be able to hit $3 for the first time since 2018 in the very near future. Something else that makes me excited about this is that 120 million XRP was grabbed on dip as whales activity picks up. So that's something that's very, very encouraging when you start watching stuff like that. But now, where is this article from? Because there's dates on here that are weird. Yeah, this is good. I was just making sure because they put a date up here and I just wanted to veil it. It says news from 7/12/2024. But obviously, this is from now. We can see 4th to 7th. I don't know what that misprint was or if that's just from an older thing that we're seeing. But we'll read through that as well. So if you are watching, make sure to hit that like button. It does help me push through the algorithm so we can get a wider base this morning. But if not, if you don't appreciate what I'm doing, if you don't like the update, or if you're just not into crypto this morning, I don't expect you to hit the like button. But if I win you over at some point, consider subscribing to the channel and joining the 29,300 plus. I can't believe I'm saying that. We're less than 700 away this morning from 30,000. It's great. So welcome in, but let's get into this. Let me turn on the comments. Wow, is there a big audience today? That is impressive. That is impressive. So let me go through the comments and just make sure there's nothing that I missed, nothing that I need to see. I don't think there's any donations or anything we have to worry about, so we can just have a free-flowing show here. And we need to watch this before 60 minutes. So I'm excited to see so many people in here. So good morning, everybody. I really, really, really do appreciate everybody. Yes, we'll look at HBAR this morning. We're going to look through a slew of my cryptos. Like if you're wondering what I own and you're new, look at the board. I have, and I'll talk about this on CRO. I have it locked up for a year, so I can't touch it until like next November. So that's locked away. I have 10,000 tokens I just haven't talked about, but that's locked away. They offer 20% staking. And because I have the crypto.com debit card, Visa card, by locking away a certain amount of money, you get more percentage back on rewards. So it's something that, it's something you have to do. Super random, but do not sell. Why is XLM lagging behind? Who's saying that's a stupid question? I don't know what you're saying that's a stupid question to. There really are no stupid questions, though. The only stupid question is the one left unasked, because then you have no idea. I don't believe in stupid questions. I just think you ask the question, and if somebody doesn't like it, so be it. I used to ask dumb questions according to people all the time when I was younger. Still do. Still do. So I want to look just real quickly to see if we have any new members, because I like to start it out like this now so that I don't have to go through every single person and, you know, keep the show from hitting its full potential. I actually went over 29,400 while I was sleeping. Wow. That's incredible. We're less than 600 people from, I can't believe I'm saying that. Less than 600 people from 30,000. So last night, let's see. We did have, or in the last 24 hours or 12 hours, we did have some movement. So I'd like to thank Mr. Peachy. Thank you for not only joining Tom's Army 2 days ago, but he upgraded today to the OG members perk. So instead of paying $9.99, he's decided to pay it forward with $24.99 this month. That's incredible. J13, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army for your first time with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. So J13, thank you so much. And then one more, we have a re-up by Beautiful Ending. Rejoin Tom's Army for a 7th month. Thank you so much to you three. So we had an upgrade by Mr. Peachy, a first-time joiner in Tom's Army by J13 today, and then Beautiful Ending, thank you for re-upping for 7 months today with the XRP predictor. That is incredible to see. I didn't know there was going to be that much movement today already. So thank you all, seriously. That means a lot to me to pay it forward and show that appreciation for the time. I don't even know what else could be even more motivating than to see people join Tom's Army and do that kind of stuff. I don't really talk about that anymore. I just want the show to be free flowing. If you join, you join. If you don't, you don't. It's not the end of the world either way. So, and if you're new, I do this. I don't charge for any of my content, so you're not missing out on anything. That's just a pay it forward thing some people do. So, right now I'm looking at that $2.90. It's that $3 area. The good news is last night we at least came down here to $2.48. Now in this chart, you might not be able to see as much, but this uptrend is at $2.40. So that's the shorter uptrend. But we have now, and this is rather interesting. We've created a short-term uptrend here if this holds. And we couldn't say this before, but if that holds, it's very possible that's your first layer. Now, if this breaks down at like $2 and, man, I'm a 50 cent now, you would have to probably come back to 240, but you start creating the fan system, and I really like the fan when you have a movement. When you have movement, I like to see the fan. It allows your brain to kind of stay in the right pattern. So we started back here in the pennant flag. We talked about this when I was doing the wrap up, or at least the intro to what was going to be done and background. This was the pennant it formed. Now that uptrend started right here, and that's at about $2.40. But we started this nice pattern consolidation. I suppose you could say I don't know, it's a descending consolidation, but some people would call that a descending wedge because it starts out at a wider base and the triangle gets smaller at the end. But it's such a small pattern formation in terms of time frame. It started December 2nd and it had already broken out of here by December 6th. So it was only a 4-day pattern. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Shiriar. You're welcome. Valentino, welcome in. Jorge, thanks for being a very trusted mod and being in Tom's Army for over 3 months. I appreciate that, my friend. And I know I've gotten a lot of messages about people, about scammers. Listen, one, I never contact any of you. So don't send your XRP to somebody. Two, some people said they got scam copy trading, which had content removed on here. So if you're copy trading me, you don't send money to anybody. That's through BITUNIX. And I have to address this because I had a bunch of messages. People saying they're getting scammed through copy trading. They're sending money for copy trades. You don't send anybody money. That's the thing. Like, I don't even know how that's possible to send somebody money for copy trading. And you're going to exchanges I've never been on. Like, I have my exchanges on my page for a reason. I show you exactly where I trade. So if somebody's coming to you and messaging you, one, I never message anybody in almost 4 years. So if you're getting a message from me, it's not me. Two, if I'm telling you to join on Telegram or Facebook or all this other crap on Messenger, I don't use them. Like Telegram, I have my own, but I don't invite anybody to it. So like, I'm not going to message you on Telegram. I don't say join Telegram so that you can get X amount of XRP. I've seen all of these scams, so I finally got to say something about it. It's ridiculous. But BITUNIX, HOTCOIN are the two that I mainly use. Crypto.com I'm verified in. And then Coinstar XRP if you need to buy and sell it in the USA. But if you're not following me on BITUNIX for copy trade, you're being scammed, period. You know, if somebody's asking you for XRP to get more XRP, you're being scammed. If somebody's telling you to verify so that you can get more flare, you're being scammed. That is nothing that I can do. So on TikTok, I've got thousands of people imitating me, and TikTok said it doesn't go against terms of services. Facebook, I've got hundreds of people, and they said it does not go against terms of service. YouTube is the only one that you can go to besides the comments and confidence where you see my content and it's mine, because they'll remove content that's being reproduced of mine. But if you go to the comments and somebody tells you to join WhatsApp, I've never had WhatsApp. So all of you getting scammed in WhatsApp, like, what are we doing? No, I don't verify on HotCoin or BITUNIX. Those are my trading hubs that I don't want to use for tax purposes. I use crypto.com for when I send money out so that if I got to pay taxes on, I use that as my hub. But I don't verify on HotCoin or BITUNIX, period. Those are my secret trading funds. Although when you send it to your normal exchange where you verify, all of that's going to be done. All that's going to be done. So if you're withdrawing, if you're sending stuff from BITUNIX to crypto.com, it's going to have a tally of what you have in crypto.com. So, yes, I have about 10 of you following. Oh my God, it's crazy on TikTok. They actually told me that those accounts did not go against terms of services, but then I'll get content going down for copyright infringement. You know how that happens? Because the people who are stealing my content that TikTok doesn't reprimand, then I get in trouble for copywriting my own content. Isn't that crazy? That's why I don't support TikTok full out. I never have, never will. I go on there live sometimes, but I don't support the actual, I call it TikTok for peeps' sake. But yeah, YouTube, as far as the scammer problem, is in comments. That's the big difference. I do my best. I have mods, but the amount of people that scam, and it's always mind-boggling to me that so many people can fall for these scams. I can't think of many that have ever sent monetary donation to my actual channel, but then they get scammed by people promising free rewards. Like, that's the society we live in. If you're getting offered something for free, it's not happening. You know, just remember that. So I just wanted to give that out. I just wanted to let you know that because it's been plentiful, and some people are like, you should be flattered. I'm not flattered. I'm actually quite annoyed by it. Why would I be flattered by somebody stealing my content that I've thought up myself? And that took almost 4 years to craft what I'm doing and taught myself. I wish everybody else would have that line of dedication instead of stealing everybody else's work and then profiting off of it and stealing from people. See, when you scam somebody, if you're one of them in the audience, when you scam somebody who works for their hard-earned money and then you take it from them in lieu of an investment and then you just whitewash them, that's not good money. That's what I consider blood money, and your soul will burn for it. I'm not saying you're going to go to the pits of hell. I'm just saying when you lack the integrity and you steal from your fellow man, there is nothing worse you can do because you're stealing the innocence of somebody. You're stealing the bread off of somebody's table. You're stealing the food from somebody's children. You know, so when you have no morals and no moral code or compass, one, you're not welcome here because that's not what I do. And once I see somebody who acts like that, I just stop talking to them. Yes, I've unbanned everybody I ever banned over 3.5 years, 4 years, but there was a reason for that. Because the next time it'll never happen again. So if these same people do the same thing, you know, but that's where you have to have your own moral compass. So when you come into my community, I do things a little different. I don't preside by all that. So that's just the warning. I can't believe after all these years that I still have to tell everybody this. And I still can't believe that so many people fall for it, for the fact that 99% of the audience, even not just mine, across the board, never opens the pocketbook, which is fine. But don't open the pocketbook to a scammer because somebody's offering you, hey, give me 5,000 of your XRP, I'll give you 10 back. Who could possibly do that? Nobody. You know, give me $500, I'll give you 5,000. Nobody can do that. If they're telling you they can do it, it's a lie. Just like if somebody says, I can predict when XRP is going to go here on the exact date. They're full of crap. You know? No, XRPH is still on Coinstar. I ban all the channels that are scammers. Yes, I hit hide and I ban those channels. Those are being banned every time I see them. But once you ban one, there's 1,000 more. You know, so it makes it very difficult. So anyhow, that's it. That's all I'm going to give the time to the scammers because I had to talk about it. But don't find yourself in that situation. If you want easy money, it doesn't exist. If there's one lesson I can teach you, if you think you're getting something for free, you're not. You're actually giving away everything you worked for. And if these people had any talent, they wouldn't be scamming you. So I'm not sure what the question is. So anyhow, we're looking for that $3 mark. $2.50 is a big area if we can bounce off of this. If not, like we said, you could come back down. But this looks like a little bull flags formed here. Unless we put a reversal in real quickly here. Could be an inverted hammer here as well. Unless we come down, and let's just say we come down to 250. You don't want to turn this into a reversal candle to the downside. But this right now, it doesn't look bad unless we just... Whew. So, a lot to watch here because we technically could be flagging here. Oh, yeah. Jack, that's another thing. That's another thing. Like, that's craziness. 40,000 people watching an AI version of Brad Garlinghouse. Like, think about that. Think about that. And think about how much things we've seen in the past that was actually AI that we thought was legitimate. So, let's read through this real quick for the 120 million XRP grabbed on the dip, as well as activity picks up, just so we can get back on track. So cryptocurrency analyst and trader Ali Martinez has shared data that shows that cryptocurrency whales have accumulated massive amounts of XRP over the past few days. It happened once the XRP dropped substantially and the market provided a big buy the dip opportunity. According to his tweet, and the data shared by Santiment on chain data vendor, between December 4th and 7th, when the XRP price displayed a drastic 23% plunge from $2.90 to $2.22, whales charged and grabbed a mind-blowing 120 million XRP worth, approximately 288 million at the time of the purchase. While XRP dropped from $2.90 to $2.22, which is so perfect because that's the back test of the first target out of the descending wedge. Like, it's so huge. That's how you solidify and validate your target to $5.49 or 69. I can never remember. I think $5.49. Whales bought the dip. They purchased over 120 million XRP, totaling $288 million. On Friday, more than 22 million XRP were bought and withdrawn from the world's largest crypto exchange, Binance. After that drop, I mean, this is good news. Since that drop, XRP has been consolidating, moving sideways in the range between 223 and 243. And right now we're at about 251, 252. Over the past 24 hours, it has staged a surge by 8% and is currently at about 243, which we went about another 8% after that. Earlier this week, between December 1st and December 3rd, XRP sent shockwaves through the cryptocurrency market by staging a 51.5% spike and surpassing the $2 level. Thus, XRP made its way back to the top 3 position in terms of market capitalization, valued at it added roughly $100 billion over the past 4 weeks. It lost its 3rd spot, though. I don't know why they didn't finish it, but it dropped back to number 4 behind Tether. So, and we're still working on Tether because Tether minted 2 billion more tokens on Ethereum just a couple days ago. They've minted $19 billion in 1 month. So Tether mints 20 billion USDT since November 6th. Tether Treasury, this was the most recent, mints $2 billion on USDT. Mints $2 billion of USDT on the Ethereum network. And I believe this was like Friday night. Late Friday, or early Friday. So this is starting to show ramifications around the market. But think about that. Think about how much Tether's pumped up. $20 billion has been printed by USDT or minted by Tether since November 6th. What's happened since November 6th? Oh, that's right. We had a huge breakout in crypto. Oh, did XRP now retake number 3? Maybe it did. I didn't look at the update this morning. Did not look at the update this morning, honestly. If it took number 3, congratulations, XRP. Nice. Wrong. XRP is number 3. Well, that's all you have to say. Say, hey, man, it overtook it. You're misinformed this morning. I suppose I am wrong then. But it's been bouncing between 3 and 4, so we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. But, you know, see? It's all about the power of the way we speak. It's all about this power of the way we speak. So exchanges, real-time liquidations. Two we've had liquidated in the last 24 hours roughly. 100 and... Look at all that money getting lost by... This is one of the most disheartening things for me is this leverage side. $106 million has been lost to long traders and $40 million in short traders. So that's $146 million that can no longer be played in the market. Look at the past 4 days. 146 today, roughly. 170 million yesterday, so that's 310 million over 2 days. Another 300 million, so that's 600 million over 3 days. Oh, and now you look at this. Look at this. 1.1 billion approximately. So that's $1.6 million or $1.6 billion of money like yours and I's because we're greedy in leverage that can no longer be put in spot. Imagine $1.7 billion. And they'll say, oh, well, if you put it in a spot, you could lose 10%. Oh, I'm sorry. Now we have $1.53 billion left for when it goes up. Like, this is where all of the money gets lost. This is just like the casino. We make a hard day's paycheck. We make $1,000, let's say, right? You make $1,000 this week, let's say. Lowballing it, but let's say you make $1,000. Maybe it's highballing it for some. I don't know. But you go to the casino. You say, hey, I made $1,000. Let me take $400 out. You go back home and you lost. So now you just lost 40% of that money you've earned for what? Wales, Josie Wales, thank you so much for the $1.99 donation. Also being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. I never FUD it up like you said. Never fudding the FUD. I just try to tell you the truth because, believe it or not, that $1.8 billion or $1.7 billion that found its way out of the market into the pockets of the exchanges, it's not where you want it to find the hands of. Thanks, you, Tom. You're always truth, never FUD. I try. ROUSD on Uniswap on TradingView. Not a fake channel. Laugh out loud. Tom is great. Oh, I love when somebody says I'm fake when I'm right in front of you. You know, this would be the channel you know I'm real. I'm live. It's on my YouTube station. You can very clearly see it's my only station. But that's what happens. The real station becomes the fake station. But the fake stations are real because they're telling what you want to hear. Remember that. As long as they tell you what they want to hear, it must be me, right? But when they tell you what you don't want to hear, it can't be me. That's the problem. Everybody wants something for nothing, right? That's human. That's the human conditioning like we've talked about much before. Everybody wants to be a part of this rally without studying the bear market for the last 2 years, right? Nobody wants to buy the top. They only want to buy the bottom, but they never want to look at charts and claim technical analysis doesn't matter. See, we play the victim all too much in society. That's what ends up happening. Nobody wants to do the work. That's why we feast. That's why I say I'll buy the blood. I'll live the blood. Because when the blood's a calling, that's when you start to feast. And when you feast in the proper spots, you've got so much of a feast that you've got so much of a surplus you don't even know what to do. So like look at all this liquidation on XRP. Look how much money and don't be a part of this, since December 1st found its way out of XRP. I've said this a million times. My portfolio that I have in leverage currently is less than $300. The total of my portfolio, if you consider all of my cryptos, I don't even know where it's at now. 60, 70, 80K. So you figure that that's all I have in leverage, $200 or $300 out of 70, 60, 80K. You do the math. So if you're somebody doing leverage and you've got a $10,000 portfolio and $3,000, you're well too overweighted. If you've got $1,000 and you're using $100 in leverage, you're too overweighted. You can't have 10% in leverage. If you have a $100 portfolio, use $10. Or a $1,000 portfolio, you can use $10. I'm sorry. If you got $10,000, you can use $100 if you want. But you're not using more than 1% on leverage, ever. What happens with the quick liquidation? It's still nice to have 99% of your spot position. So I'm trying to teach you from within because that is how you lose a lot of money. And it's happening over and over and over. And now I see on crypto.com they got up down options. Like, stay as far away from these things as you possibly can. A 10-minute window and an up down option on the exchange that controls the flow. Like, come on, people. Ooh, I'm glad to see AMP is pumping. I've got 200,000 AMP, as some of you know. But look at all this money real quick, and then we'll go and look at the charts again. $80 million liquidated on the 1st out of XRP. Another 86 million on the 2nd. That's 170 million. Another 35 million here. You're talking about 200 million in the first 3 days of December. Another 57 million. So 357 million so far in December liquidated. Just pay attention. Let's go to the 5th. Another 16 million. So now we're up to like 366. Another 16 million, 382. Another 7 million today. So you got 390 million. Just hear me out. $390 million liquidated between long and shorts out of XRP in December. Where were we at on December 1st? December 1st, 272, right? Right now we're sitting at $2.53 in consolidation. Still well over where we started 1 month ago. We started at 48 cents. But yet $380 million has been liquidated since the 1st of December out of XRP. Just on these exchanges. On Binance, OKX, Bybit, HTX, BitMEX, CoinX, and BitFinex. $380 plus million in 1 week has been liquidated from retail. Does that make sense to you? When the technical loss that they're looking at right now is a couple 100,000. The technical target out of this is still much higher. All-time highs is much higher. Like, why are we losing so much money leverage trading? You know, and now look at XRP. Look what's happening right now. This is where it becomes dangerous. Like my leverage trade, if it goes awry, it loses like 70 bucks. And then I won't trade until it goes down to the next support for leverage. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's transpiring right now. And look at XRP. It was up at $2, and I've just had mine open to ride. I'm just letting it ride. And if it stops out, it's at $2.30. It's not worth it on this time around. But it looks like an inverse head and shoulders is setting up. Now, does it come all the way back down here and try to make, you know, does it come all the way back down, or does it make that volatile swing and finish the technical target? No, I agree with that, Nick. I agree with that. I don't think a lot of people do know how to leverage trade. I really don't. And then it's proof when I've had 43 people follow me and it's down to 13 and we're up currently about 280. I don't know how it's going to go with this trade, but it's up about, it was up about $500. It's probably about $480 up still in the BITUNIX copy trading, starting at $100. So it's really crazy. Head and shoulders on the hourly for XRP. Possibly. That's why we said if it breaks down, here was that uptrend. That's why I started with this morning, in case it broke that $2.50. Because if it does, that means we got to come back down here to about $2.40 roughly. And since it does look like a tiny head and shoulders, I mean, and that's a bearish candle there in the 2 hour. Well, it's a bearish reversal. That's a bearish reversal in the immediate short term, but we don't know if it's going to play out because it's still got this target from this breakout, but it could back test all the way down here. We've seen it before. We've seen it before. Must be a fake BS channel. Life taker. Must be a fake. I don't know what you're talking about. If you're saying that this is a fake channel, well, I think you need to re-examine social media. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Not a big fan of your name, Life Taker, though, to be honest. No, I know. I get that. Who 60 Minutes doesn't like? There's a reason Trump didn't do a 60 Minutes interview. Very true. Very true. But this is just something I have to deal with all the time. You know, I put in a lot of work, but all these spammers, man. You guys are losing out on a lot of life, but that's cool. I actually don't mind it. I actually like the spammers because it shows me exactly where we sit. It's amazing how many people have taken it out of their hands, to be honest. Plus, I don't have time for this, so, let's see. There we go. I'm not putting up with any. I have a quick trigger now. I really don't care. So there. So I think Tom's pretty honest about predictions. It's not his fault. People are impatient. Yep. That's okay. You're doing great when you get haters. Oh, you know you're doing. Oh, I've got so many haters. It'll make your head pop off. We'll look at some of these other ones right now. But if XRP's in a head and shoulders, I would say. And it's tough because if this uptrend breaks, you know, then obviously it can come down here. But we've hit the uptrend now. So we'll see if this can hold. If this can hold, you know, we'll bounce out to the next layer and we'll start pushing that $3. If not, we might have to retest that $2.40 area. It's possible. We'll see if this breaks down during this live. Right now we're at 252. Somebody was saying AMP is starting. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, excuse me. AMP. We've talked a lot about AMP. Look, and it even came outside just a little bit. And if you just had the patience, you could have had the evidence of how far this had to run. Look at that. We didn't know how far it was going to go, but it ended up coming just outside the short term. But it bounced off of it. That's a beautiful push. I like seeing that. 12.49. The technical target out of here for AMP, if it plays true. I like seeing this by AMP. Heck yeah. We knew AMP was getting ready. Fuck yes. See, there's always opportunity. I always say this. There is always opportunity. And I don't have AMP and leverage. I have AMP and spot. So you want to talk about opportunity. Just AMP. All the rest of our stuff is going. And you can do whatever you want. See, when there's a move, you can sell it if you want. You can do whatever you want. So that AMP move right now. $376 move where it's at right now. Just where it's at right now. Just being patient. And now I could sell it right now and take that money if I want to. Because AMP, technically, will probably come right back down. Back test this area unless it's ready to shoot straight through. The entirety of this move now, if you were playing it, you've got to wait until it finishes at 1.5. You got to watch the back test if you're looking for the entirety. It might be a fake out, though, so you could lose the money. So that's where it becomes do I just take the quick sale or do I ride it out? It all depends on your... So you have to set a plan before the breakout. My plan on this, if it broke out, was not to sell the initial move, was to wait for it to come up here, then sell it. And then rinse and repeat. I sell down to 100,000, buy back the rest when I think it's going to break out. And I've had this for a couple days now because I've been anticipating this. But now you see, remember what I said? It'll probably come right back down because now it's got to try to show 117. If it falls through, then you miss a quick opportunity at money. That's all. And then you live and you learn by the asset. That's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And I'm heavily weighted in crypto, as you can see. This whole list here I own. This whole list I own. This whole list, besides Algo, I own. You know, except for Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. I rode them up, but not anymore. But now, hey, it's that part of the market. Are we going to get lamb-basted here? This is what we've talked about the last 2 weeks with all this. I'm not a fan of the 60 minutes live. I don't want any kind of stigma that's going to come out where people could target as a pump and dump event. So I was happy that last Sunday ended up being FUD. I don't want it. AMP, BITUNIX. I have my AMP on BITUNIX. If you go to my homepage or the video description below, there's a way to get to BITUNIX. There's a link. I trade other crypto, but not no, I don't trade XRP unless I take out like I do today. I have a leverage position taken out from like $2.48. Yesterday I had one as well. It made like 25% or 20% on XRP, but when we retraced under 250, I bought it back at $2.48 roughly. Only $140. It's like a $28, $30 risk. I bought XLM back too, but XLM is down. Since I bought it. XLM's a bitch to leverage trade. So is XRP. Hi, Tom. Sorry I missed if you addressed it, but do you see a pullback at $3? XRP blasted past some targets without much back testing, but $3 is a big one. If it goes to $3, it's going to depend. If it goes up to $3, and let's just say we're doing it and we have some kind of weird pump today going into the 60 minutes, we get some artificial resignation or we get some kind of artificial interest in some of the populace. Or they just try to pump and dump it. $3 is a big threshold moment because we haven't touched $3 since 2018. If we get rejected initially on the push up, it's not a good sign. What you want to see initially is it not just stop at $3. You want to see a push to at least 304 to 308. The technical target is technically around 304, but I took the smaller side of it at $3 because it's a psychological area. So if it did get up to 304, then a back test at $3 and then a 310 run and then back to $3 would be ideal. If it gets rejected at $3 initially, you got to drop back to like 288. No, 292. The initial swing high that we've already had. So from here to $3, back test 292, break the 310, back test 3 is ideal. So yeah, probably a 10 to 15% pullback initially on the $3. At least 8% would be warranted. At least 8%. XRP is predictably unpredictable. When it comes to short-term movements, yeah, but long-term movements, it's the most predictable one by the book. There's zero debate about that, in my opinion. XRP is the single easiest one to chart over the last 7 years. It's that simple. Some people didn't acknowledge it. Some people were mad when I would say it. It was a stable coin for the better part of 2 years. And it was in a descending wedge since, just think about this, since January of 2018, all the way until October of 2024, we're in a descending wedge. It doesn't get much easier. That's it. Scamming is evil, zero morals. Damn right. Damn right. And to think I put all my content out for free and people can still be scammed by people scamming me. Just think about that. I charge $0 for my content for almost 4 years and people are still getting scammed paying for my content. Go figure that one out. And I get criticized for putting out free content and people are still getting scammed by people putting out. I don't understand. Uh-oh, sound is glitching. Well, we're just going to have to put up with it. Because when the update comes out the live, it doesn't do that anymore. So restart your app, do what you got to do, but there's nothing I can do about that. That's YouTube trying to shadow ban me. It's simple. Not hating, but I've watched a lot of your videos, and a few months ago you were saying you could target 10 cents. Incorrect. If you're going to make comments and you don't want to be disrespect, if you want to be truthful, you can be truthful, but I've got plenty of evidence that goes against that. So you can't understand anything I'm saying? Oh, I love it. Oh yeah, they always do this to me, believe me. I get shadow banned. Let me try to reset this. So that's all I'm going to do. If it doesn't work, you guys, is that better? Bro, if you want to take an 8-second clip out of something I say when it can go up or the possible bottom line, it can go down. Yeah, there was always a target under sub 20 cents. I always show the low target. But go ahead. You want to take that one clip and then show my other 4 years of videos where it surrounds it? Like, seriously. But I see what's happening here. I do. The lag is actually going to help me. But I can see what's happening here. This has turned into one big negative stream now, and I get it. So I'm going to do my own thing now. I'm going to do my own thing. Comments be damned. So, we want to go into that realm. This is my new way of doing things now. So, let's take a look at the heat signature at my Bitcoin. It's amazing that people would lie about my content like that. With all the work I've put in. With all the work I've put in. But this is a growing moment for me because before I used to bash, now I'm just going to move on. So the heat signature map, Bitcoin, we've got a lot of liquidity that's opened up here in the last month. Right now, it's not huge though. You got liquidity leverage up here. Let's wait for this to, because we're getting a lot of choppiness here. Here we go. So in the monthly up here, we can see 300 million at 103. Let's see. There's not a lot of liquidity up here like there was. There was billions of dollars up here before the move. Kind of looks like it flagged a little bit here at the end. Little big W reversal here as well. Bull flag down here on the drop down on the wick to 90. I don't know. I'm still not seeing the big breakdown yet. There's not a lot of liquidity in this area. Yeah, we can top off and grab the liquidity here all the way up. There's not a lot right now. Even below us. There's not a lot down here. It's pretty neutral now. We've cleared out a lot of that liquidity. Unless we come down here, we'd have to drop below 90,000 to start, or about 90,100 to start picking up some real liquidity. To pick up some real liquidity. Let's see. See what else we have. Brad Garlinghouse will be on 60 Minutes today. Let's see if there's any more news and notes. Let's see. Don't care what the expert says. Researcher explains I don't care. All eyes on 275 XRP chart pattern suggests major move on the horizon. I do like that because that's pushing towards that area. So all eyes on $2.75. XRP's chart pattern suggests major move on the horizon. The cryptocurrency XRP has been on an upward trajectory recently, trading at $2.60 after a 7.3% gain in the past 24 hours. So XRP on the 1-hour chart has been consolidating tightly between 255 and 265, which right now we know we're at 251. Reflecting reduced volatility, the relative strength index, RSI, is 75.74, signaling overbought conditions, while the moving average convergence divergence MACD is at 43,886, indicating positive signals. Low volume during this consolidation still points to cautious market sentiment. A breakout above 265 could catalyze a bullish towards 275 or higher, while a breakdown risked retesting support at 245, and that's what we were trying to show on the fan. The 4-hour chart demonstrates a retracement from a recent peak of $2.91 to $2.10, followed by a gradual recovery with higher lows. Key oscillators such as the Awesome Oscillator AO and stochastic display neutral signals at 1.08467 and 77.99, respectively, suggesting a balanced market. XRP buyers appear to be accumulating at support levels around $2.30 to $2.50 range. A sustained move above $2.75 could validate more optimistic momentum, while failure to hold $2.30 may lead to further drawdowns. The daily XRP chart paints a much stronger uptrend, with the digital asset having surged from 50 cents to a recent high at $2.91. However, XRP's declining volume suggests potential weakening in momentum, corroborated by rejections at resistance near $2.90 long-term moving averages, such as the exponential moving average and simple moving average for 200 periods, show strong buy signals at 81.2, 68.5 respectively. Current support lies in the $2.20 to $2.40. I'd say $2.22 right now, making these, well, $2.22 to $2.40, yes, but you've got $2.33 roughly on the pattern breakout, $2.44 on the uptrend, and the short support is $2.50 on the most recent uptrend. So, I mean, there's a lot to look at, making these levels crucial for bullish continuation. Oscillators present a dividend sentiment or divided sentiment. RSI indicates overbought conditions, while the MACD reflects bullish potential. The commodity channel index CCI at 103.05 and the momentum oscillator at 1.05233 both suggest selling pressure may continue. However, all moving averages from short-term EMA 10 at $2.29.829 to long-term EMA 200 at 81.202 signal a strong market, reinforcing a positive bias over the medium to long term. If XRP successfully breaks above $2.65 in the short term and sustains its momentum through $2.75 in the 4-hour chart, it could retest the $2.90 resistance or even surpass $3. The overwhelming buy signals from moving averages and the steady higher lows on multiple timeframes suggest strong bullish potential in the medium to long term. Should XRP fail to hold its critical support at $2.30 or face a breakdown from its consolidation range, bearish pressure could intensify. Oscillator readings like the overbought relative strength index and selling signals from momentum indicators hint at the possibility of a retracement toward $2.10 or even $1.90 if broader sentiment weakens. So, good story. Good article. What are we at? I think that's a good article. Lost about 80 people after the issue when I had to reset, but that is okay. That is okay. I think I pretty much talked about what I want to. I mean, I could go around the chart and be nice. Go around the entire sector on this Sunday morning. That comes with vibes too, man. I vibe a lot, so if I'm not vibing, I'm out of here. Sometime tonight is Brad's Garlinghouse. Let's see. We are forming an inverse head and shoulders. Indeed we are. Indeed we are. May do that, Sean. That's in about 34 minutes. Let's see. 6 p.m. Balzac says interesting. You don't have any to apologize for. Oh, no. Nope, I don't. I don't. That's why I said I have my own way I have to do things. I wouldn't apologize anyhow. Not to the spammers. But yeah, I mean, we know we're forming an inverse head and shoulders. That's what we had formed out in the consolidation. We had a short term that looked like it's building into this. This is just validating if we can hold this. If this holds $2.48 roughly, you bounce out to $3 and you can see the inversion. It's just if it comes down farther, maybe it wants to pull all the way down here. You know, you can't quite tell when you have these inverse setups. So I'm looking at it to play out the $3. Obviously, I know where it goes if it doesn't. We've talked about all those levels. You have to make an open and honest evaluation of the market. Don't listen to the fudsters. Have a basic understanding of the chart so that you don't get rolled in this market. You see, there's a dime a dozen people that are trying to scam you. There's a dime a dozen people trying to misinform you. There's a dime a dozen of people, because they're a dime a dozen, that are going to tell you all the wrong information and hope you fail. Just that's the way it goes in this market. And the more that people become less humilitable, there's less humility in this world, the harder it's going to be for all of you. It's not going to get any harder for me because I taught myself how to do all of this. It's going to be harder for the ones who can't read it. The ones who don't understand the digital flip that's coming. The ones that don't understand that we're going away from cash. So that everything's on a card. So everything's on a computer screen. The ones who can't adapt to that now are the ones who are going to get left behind. And those are usually the spammers and scammers. So that's why I don't worry about it. They'll siphon themselves out one way or the other. It's the ones who are here that want to learn that I worry about. That's why I become so animated. And that's why I become so passionate. There's a huge sector of society that actually wants to learn. Those small sectors that try to show everybody the wrong way, you know, that's why you got to find the one who's 1 in 10. You know, I consider myself 1 in a million, but you don't have to. I know what I do. If you see me as a piece of trash, that's fine. I see myself as a piece of gold, and that's all that matters. If you think of yourself as gold, remember, somebody's trash is somebody's gold. So, my knowledge isn't what everybody else wants, but it's what everybody else needs. See, if you had my knowledge, you wouldn't have to worry about the world. If you understood the charts, if you understood money, if you understood finances, you understood the difference between currency and money, and a system that's about to transcend into something, the next chapter, so to say, and I don't want to get into it too much. You've got this market by the balls. You've got it by the fortuitous balls. If you're somebody who can't get check of your own emotion, if you're somebody who wants to just put everybody else down because they have other ideas or opinions, you're not going to get very far. You can either be progressive or get left behind. You can be progressive or regressive. I don't really care which choice you make. I give you the opportunity every day. I never tell you it's going to go up or it's going to go down. I show you the charts in front of me and I say the possibility. So right now, if I say, hey, the target's $3, but if this pattern breaks down, we go back down to $1.98. Does that mean I'm saying we go to $1.98? Absolutely not. Does that mean we go to $3? Absolutely not. What it means is the pattern it broke out of, the designated target here is $3. If it breaks down and this is a fake out and we break this consolidation, the technical target to the downside is 198. Then you got 177, 168, 138, 118, $1.92 where the fair value gap is. Am I saying it's going to 92? No. Will somebody say I said that? Yes. So you have to watch this for what it is. If you want to get ahead, if you want to advance in this market and you want to not get beaten down, you've got to think for yourselves. We're in a world that doesn't want to think anymore. Everybody just wants to be handed everything. Everybody just wants to get free shit. That's why we can't do anything. So if you want to get ahead, you've got to pay attention. Period. A tank, that's not you, my friend. That's not you. That's not, all you guys have to do is pay attention to the comments to see what I deal with every day. So sometimes I get strong. This is where I get strong. You know why? Because people are getting murdered in crypto right now. For what? For what? A few meme tokens? For what? A few little leverage trades that go right? I don't understand. You know, so I'm trying to be open and honest with the audience. And sometimes you got to see me like this. You know why? I'm real. So when I feel a little uneasy, you should start to look into why I'm feeling this way. I see perception changing once again in the community, and I don't like it. I work too hard to make this a positive place, you see? So I have to sometimes be stern to get rid of the weak hands that don't want to be in here when somebody tells them no. See, that's how it works. Just like a parent. Sometimes you have to tell them no. Enough. I'm not doing it. Comments are off for a reason. I'm not doing it. You know, and then people say, oh, Tom, you got to not get the haters. It's not about the haters. It's about society, my friends. This is an indictment on the problem in society. Nobody wants to help each other. We just want to get something for nothing. And then when somebody is helping, we just assume they're not. So anyhow, with that being said, take serious thought in what I just said the last 10 minutes. When you see me next time, I'm going to be happy Tom. I'm going to be low talking Tom. I'm going to be laser focused Tom. But on this Sunday morning, a lot of people did it the wrong way. Now, I understand they come in here because they want to get a rise out of me, which I love. Because then I end up getting more viewers when I get like this for whatever reason. But I don't want to be this person, see? Because now what did we do? We didn't look at H-bar. We didn't look at DGB. We didn't look at XLM. We didn't look at XDC. We didn't look at IOTA. We didn't look at anything. No. We just have to talk about being good humans. At a certain point, it gets a little old. But let's get back. See, there's one thing to be said though. If you make a positive out of what's going on, and you try to understand what's going on, you'll come out ahead. And now I get to reevaluate and say, you know what? I read too much of the comments today and see what happened. As much as I want to read all the comments, you see what happens. So this is basically what kind of consolidation we're in here in the grand scale here for H-bar. So I'm going to delete all of these short targets because we already hit that. This has already been taken out. I think this is the back test. So this is what we're looking at in the short term. We also have this little reversal that could possibly be placed. But if this is like a hanging flag and it has to come down, you would come all the way back down to 27. But inverse left shoulder, inverse head, possibly inverse right shoulder. We got an inverse left shoulder, head, right shoulder on the right side. So, I mean, looks like we're creating a lot of inverse head and shoulders across the market. Then if it comes down, maybe something like this, if it wants to equal out, 30.7. But it does look like a lot of inverse head and shoulders are creating across the market. Obviously, if they formed and they reject bearishly, not a good sign at all. DGB down 6.34%. Still holding the consolidation. Still on the top side of a breakout. Just not been able to break out and completely push yet. Could have formed a head and shoulders. It's very possible. So, but yeah, that's what I got, everybody. That's what I got. Pay attention to the XRP like we said. $2. Looks like a little flag could be formed here as long as it holds $2.50. If not, be a quick come down to the next uptrending area, which would be right here about $2.39. If that doesn't hold, then it could be tricky. This technical 2-hour candle looks bearish, but it could be putting in more of a bullish doji. We'll see if it can pull back up here in the next 24 minutes above 254. If it does, not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. Let's see. Anything that I need to address before I leave? Let's get back into the comments. Not going to do it on my tablet. I'm just going to do it on my phone so I can be in control. Not going to do it on my tablet. I'm just going to do it on my phone. So nope, not trying to save everybody else either. Let's see. That part, Tom, still working on your hearts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do like I like people who speak their mind as well. Like I say, there's just some things. Let's see. Wow. Holy moly. Ronnie, Wow. That is a doozy. That is a doozy. See how the world comes full circle? It's so, I don't even know what else to say sometimes. Ronnie with the $100 donation. That's a big one. No, and Alonzo, that's why I was very disappointed with the 60-minute. I didn't want to see no 60-minute interview because now you can point to an event where you could have, where you can honestly say, hey, is this a pie the rumor sell the news event? And I don't like when these events transpire because then it gives, let's just say it gives market manipulators all of the tools that they need at their disposal to make a very wild swing. Now we're down 3%, so I like it dumping leading into it. See, I want it to start consolidating going into it. I'd rather see this than be up 10%, 20%, 50% going into it. Although I would like to see 50%. You could make an educated decision. We'd be in the $4 range if that happened. But you get what I'm saying. You know, this is where we got a nice 7 to 10% dump from that top. Like, look how much we actually dumped down. This is actually not as bad as it seems, everybody, because we are creating an inverse head and shoulders here. So don't forget that. Please. If this doesn't break down, we're very bullish. It had a 5.3% comeback from $2.62 down to $2.48. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's after the breakout, and we already had a back test on the breakout. And it looks like all it did was it created this inverse right arm. Like if it's going boom, 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 it very well could pop out of here. We're in a very, very critical spot right here. I'm actually excited to watch this. Wow, I didn't realize this was slipping down this morning. But yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic right now. I'm gonna be a member of the army soon. Bozak, I appreciate that, but remember, all you gotta do is subscribe to the channel, man. If you like my work, you don't ever have to be a paid subscriber. That's something people do for outside. They want to pay it forward, whatever. Maybe they've made a lot of monetary. Maybe they're just appreciative. But I put this out for a reason, for free, so everybody can watch it. That's never going to change. You don't have to join Tom's Army. Hell, you don't even have to send a super chat and you get all the information you want. I greatly appreciate the ones like Ronnie who, $100 donation. I don't remember the last time I got one that size. But, you know, people do pay it forward. There's people in Tom's Army. We've got a very supportive audience. But the bottom line is you don't have to pay for my content. So I appreciate the gesture, but just come here every single day and communicate. That's all I ask for. Come here and communicate. Be positive. Help people out in the comments. You know, I'm not right 100% of the time, but I'm right more than I'm wrong. A lot more than I'm wrong. And I don't try to make predictions here. I just try to tell you where it's going out of the pattern setup. So right now it's suggesting $3. I'm not saying $3 because it's a target not there. I'm saying $3 because that's what the analytics are saying. Unless it breaks down, $3 is the technical target. You know, in the short term. If it breaks down from $2, like I said, if this breaks down at 250, well, you know, it's telling us right now in the fan setup that we'd have about 241. If that breaks is where it gets interesting, because then you may lose 202 and come all the way down to the defined uptrend at 205. Well, if you come to 205, I think you would backtest $1.98. It just seems unlikely not to. But then I also am fighting with myself saying, well, if this is bearish, wouldn't they need to because it's overextended now? Even if it's bearish, wouldn't they have to do this? Here, let me delete this. Wouldn't they have to do this and create a big M? And some say there's an M, but I don't think this is a real M. That's a short-term consolidation. They'd have to do something like this and then create a real M, right? So that's why I'm watching that area. What if it does do something like this? Right, now look at this like this. Is that not a big M-topping reversal that could be culminated on the exact type of Saturday Night Live setup that Elon Musk had back in 21? And now we have a 60-minute setup. I'm not overlooking this. In fact, I am looking very deeply today to make sure this doesn't happen. Because if this scenario shows me in any way it's going to play out, well, there's no way Tom is sitting from $2 or $3 if I think it's going back to 91. I can tell you that right now. I couldn't give a rat's ass about the 35-cent average. If I could sell at 3 and buy back at 90, you better fucking believe I'm doing that if it plays out. But in this kind of a market, would they let you buy back? Would the crypto exchanges let you buy back on a 70% dump? That's what you have to ask yourself. Because a lot of times things are becoming very weird with XRP, especially during the run-ups. Just pay attention to that too. But, you know, there would have to be some kind of concrete evidence that was telling me, you know. And if it goes way down, you can always buy more. You can always buy more. Lonzo, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I really, really appreciate that. Yes, you can absolutely get a VELO breakdown. One, because I own it. But two, because you're always very generous and very kind. Not from a monetary sense, just very kind. You're a very humble person, and I appreciate that. We hit the first technical target of 3.3. That was our big target. When we were down at 0.009, then we broke to 1.4. That was our big target. We broke out of this consolidation. So, no back test yet. So, the fact we got rejected at 3.2, if we lose right about here, because now you're back testing the actual cup setup, you know, this little cup that it formed. If you come below, I mean, we're literally right on it right now, 2.88, and you get a rejection there, then you'll probably come back down and back test 2 cents. It doesn't need to, but with that kind of a consolidation, it's not unusual. But I can tell you, if you look at it like this in the short consolidation, we still haven't finished out the longer consolidation. I'm very aware of this too. So it doesn't necessarily need to come all the way back down, because if you're asking me, maybe it was something more like this. You know, you can look at it 2 ways. And when it made this second part of the consolidation, it's something that I have not ignored. But you can obviously see the consolidation down here needed to happen. Technical target it broke up to. It just took time. And now it's either does it get below 2.8 and then have to come back down and back test, or can we hold 2.8 and push up to the actual uptrend here at about the resistance uptrend at 3.3. But I'm very happy with what VELO is doing. Look how far behind VELO is still from its past in 21. I mean, you can start looking at it, but VELO has gone way down. VELO was at $1.80 roughly, $1.90. You're talking about it at 3 cents, 2.8 now. I'm just glad that I was able to buy it at 009, 1.4, and just let it go. So, but that's what's going on with VELO. Nothing more, nothing less we can really say about VELO except for that little setup. So, hopefully that helps. But yeah, that's what's setting up on VELO. Yep, Ronnie, that's... are you talking about XRP or VELO? I mean, you might be talking about XRP. But VELO could be a left shoulder and head as well. You know, it just depends. Or is this a bull flag consolidation or a pennant flag? Who knows? That's why we have to see if it breaks down. Obviously, it could be a head. But that's across the market. Oops. I got to tighten this up after, too. Apparently, my setup came loose. AMP is up 11.8% today. We talked about AMP earlier. When it was up like 20%, I said you could sell it and buy it back on the back test. Remember? So it was up here at about 1.29, and I said it'll most likely, it's AMP, it'll back test 11.7. Right now, it's already came back down to 11.8. I mean, it's already come down here. So we'll see. We'll see if this can hold, but it's back tested this already. So if it back tests and holds, this AMP has a technical target of 1.54. That's what I was playing on this push. Oh, no problem, John. I'm glad you asked again. I'm glad you asked. I can always reemphasize it. Not everybody's going to be here when I first talk about it. So always ask. At least ask. And then if I see it, I can go back. Looks like a pennant flag consolidation too here with AMP. That's why I was excited about it. But we'll see if it plays true. It had the initial breakout. Now, like AMP likes to do, it comes back most of the way from the breakout. And then it pushes its final layer if it does. Oh, heck yeah, Moose. That is the most beautiful comment I've seen about VELO. It is not listed on most of the major exchanges like Binance, Kraken. Like, what else? He said a third one, too. Binance, Kraken, and Coinbase, correct. It hasn't been, it's not on any of the real major exchanges, so there is a ton of room to grow. By market cap size, it came up about, by positioning by market cap, it went up about 70 places, so it's a pretty extreme move. But yeah, this is what you're looking at with AMP. It's backtesting a breakout, and the technical target right now is 1.5 cents in the short term. So from right here where it's at, if it does break up, we're looking at an additional 27.75%, which would make this about a 40% move in totality. So I know the market's given a bearish overview, and we've had a lot of consolidation. But like, you're looking at these consolidations, DGB I still find is vastly undervalued here. It's vastly undervalued. It's backtesting the first layer of a breakout. It never came all the way up to the technical zone. So, but I've been here for a long time. I got to get going. It's Saturday or Sunday. I want to make sure everything's going good in my house. And then if you're part of the TikTok side, I very well may be going live there soon in a little bit. And it doesn't show the charts. It's just me talking. So thousands of people that imitate me on TikTok. So I'll leave it up to you to find the right one with 23,000 followers. It's not very hard to find the real person. You just got to do a little bit of diligence. Have a blessed morning, everybody. Like I said, I appreciate doing this. I come here on Saturday and Sunday mornings instead of doing an update so we can do a live together. We've been here over an hour, so I think we've done everything we need to do. Until next time, I'm going to go spend time with some family. And all of you, let's not forget to find our spiritual side. Hold on to our humility and humbleness. And don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, some people, we got to find our humility. Some people, we got to find the way to deal with the people without humility. I am one of those people. I'm in between. I'm doing a much better job these days, but at the same time, I still want to see the betterment of everybody. So when I see people taking the lazy, cheap way out, let's throw somebody under the bus route, that's not something that appeals to me. So you probably won't get my respect out of that. But if you're somebody I see in the comments picking people up, if you're trying to give real information, if you're trying to show people the way, you're going to get my respect and then some. So you either want my respect or you don't. You either care about what I think or you don't. I care what everybody in the audience thinks. I appreciate what everybody in the audience thinks. Whether you are somebody who puts out the FUD or somebody who brings the help, if you're somebody who's loving or if you're somebody who's hating, you're all equally welcome because it's an indictment on each of us. The way we can handle somebody who's a critic should be a compliment to how we can appreciate somebody who's a fan. So that's something I always need to remember, and that's the way that I stay humble and keep my humility. So I need to remember that all the time. That's something I did a very piss poor job in 2021. Something going into 25, I'm very proud of the accomplishment. So this is the upgraded for XRP. This is the upgraded. If you want to look at it in a grand scale, there you go. If you want to get the $3, we've created a resistance now. So now that becomes the resistance area. So too small, reevaluate, and now you've got to break above this, and this would validate your move. This is what would confirm the move. So just pay attention to the involvements, pay attention to the escalation in the charts, pay attention to what we're seeing, and it slightly elevates our target, but nothing major. So just pay attention. Let's say it breaks out here. The target is not much bigger, but technically you can see, remember I said it would 310 it eventually, but now it's creating this kind of a setup. So it's either $3.10, obviously $3 first out of the short target, but I'm trying to evolve this before I leave. And then if it breaks down, you can see it's pointing at the $1.84 area. So, hey, do we go up to 310 area, first $3, or do we start pushing back towards that $1.97? We'll watch the charts play out, and we'll update this later. Have a blessed day, everybody, and thank you.